Well, hey there, this is Jerry, and I'm getting started on that episode of What's Broke Today. And today, um, I had a wheel off a Wright standard that decided to separate itself from the mower. So, where this thing needs to be attached down here, it's come loose. So, I'm going to start out with cleaning all the paint off. I'm going to check the air pressure in the rear tires, and I'm going to use some boards and stuff and get the mower deck set level as I can before we start welding this thing back on. But first off, I got to get all the paint off, and this last little bit when it broke, bend that back. But when I'm looking at this, take the camera off the tripod. Then when I look at this piece has been cracked for quite a while because all of this area where it looks rusty and dirty was cracked, and all the clean places is where it was still attached. So I was probably lucky this thing hadn't fallen off sooner, but regardless, I'll get her put back on there. Okay, well, first thing I did was I checked the air in the tires, and they're both right at 10 pounds. The only variable I got is they're not exactly the same tire. This looks like an original. One on the other side's been replaced. Um, I used my Nissan jack and raised this side of the deck up, and then deep well socket and a wrench, and use the open end and box end as kind of like a gauge. So I get it where this side is just a tad bit higher than that side. And then, of course, when I take this and we get the wheel pointed the correct direction, that should line up pretty close. May still need to go up a little because when it hits here, but yet has a gap out at the bottom, but it's even possible I can, there's an extra washer in here in the wheel. I'll probably pull one of those out so I can drop this bracket down and square it up. Because I hate to pull the deck up higher and then put the weight on it. Because then it's liable to, it'll hold the deck up too high when I get to that point. So, and normally these thin washers are not what's normally on these. And then I need to clean my impact, the paint off around here. So I'll just take these two top bolts and remove them and get them out of the way. And then I can use a sanding disc on my die grinder and just clean all this paint off. This up here and use a flap wheel. And of course, the cleaner that is, the easier and better it will. Okay. I do think one of those washers needs to come off. Let's come in here and let's pull the top one off. That is super close. think I'll still go and pull one more off. No. There are my greasy fingers. I think that's going to be about right. Oh. Okay, well, I got everything cleaned up. I think as good as I need, and I'm going to put these 2 bolts back in, temporary. So I know that plate is all the way up there tight, even though it seemed like it was anyway. That's why I'll take my clamp and put over so I'm grounded good. And get my hood on and my gun ready. I got the welder already turned on. Of course, what I'll do is get that up there and as square as I can. And then we'll just come in here and I'll tack it, and then I can get up and look. Make sure I like how everything looks. I think I will raise that up just a smidge. Now I'll come down here and tack it. Then come on the inside and attack. Okay. That all looks good, so raise that up just a hair, and then I'm going to actually take this off, and that way I can weld going down instead of, the top here is easy, which I guess I go ahead and weld across there, and then if it's laying flat, it's easier to do these, and a lot easier instead of welding upside down under here. No, I'm not getting my impact gun in there now, so let's go ahead and I'm going to take these top bolts out. Then I can come across the top and also hit that little spot right there where it started to rip. Okay. That looked really good. Figure out what I'm sitting on is my socket. Raise my jack up just a little. Get that off of there. Yeah, I think I'll do the bottom side first. Okay. And I'm welding it, instead of a narrow weld, I'm going farther just so it has, a little bit more strength. I don't know if it makes a big difference, but it makes me happier. The sparks hitting me on the ankle don't feel very good. Okay. I did a little circle around where that had the little tear. I don't know if it makes a big difference, but it might help a little. We can come over here and looking good. May not be the prettiest of welds, but I build it up so it covers more area and should make it stronger because they really don't do a very wide weld when they do these originally. Yeah. Straighten that up just a little, but I think that should get the job done. So I got to do is bolt her back on and check the deck level, and I add or remove these washers up here as needed to get my level where I want it. Okay, now we can. Oh, that was hot and melted to my rug. But we can get that down like that, and then run it back up over those bolts. All right. Then we can tighten these down good because we don't want them coming loose while he's out mowing. Okay. I'll turn that around facing the right direction, and then drop my jack down, and then I'm going to get my socket and my wrench. And reach underneath here and make sure the blade's going front to back. I'm going to hold my socket up against the blade and then take my wrench. And the open end just barely clears. Now I'm going to come over here and turn the blade and do the same thing on the right hand side. I probably need to add at least one of those washers back in. So, because on the right side, I can get the box end in, which is thicker than the open end. And on the left side, I can just get the open end in there. I have to get that raised up a little and then reposition my jack, because I know I can't go up as high as I need to with that foot knot underneath there, but we can do that. Underneath it. Oh, okay, we can try. There we go. And I got Ash coming to help. The way I turn that just a little bit, it'll roll down. You know what? I'm just going to put them all on so I don't have to jack it back up, because the extra one ain't going to make that big a difference, I don't think. Put that in there. That back ready. Nice thing is if I get this where those washers back in the original place where they was, that means I got this on. That's called a cat. I had to take out the camera. I don't know what scared him. Normally I can make all kinds of noises and he don't run. And I'm going to start out with this way and see if it goes. I'll probably have to turn the blade back around because, oh, no, it's close. There we go. Okay. And the big end does go. Oh. Ah, perfect. Okay. I am almost identical on my socket to ground clearance on both sides. So that's a win. All right, well, that gets our Wright stander done. That this is a fixed deck Wright stander. And on these, you could see either one of these welds break. Now, I did look at the other side. Currently, it still looks good. That even with my glasses on, I don't see any signs of separation or weld breakage. Sometimes these legs break off on an adjustable deck stander. And other than the fact that, you know, these legs are flat and up here, not a whole lot of difference in how I fix them, other than depending on how they broke. Sometimes I do cut some 1/8" plate and weld on the top of it. That I'll weld the seam, grind it down, and then weld plate on the top and plate on the bottom just to strengthen it. Um, never had one of those come back, and never had, after I welded one of these, never had one come back. So, um, the main thing is, yeah, get it everything clean, because any paint that's on there makes it difficult to weld, because the weld disrupts the, I don't know, the when the you're welding through the paint, it disrupts that bubble of the argon gas. Um, I normally don't be weld with flux core wire. I don't know if paint how it will affect flux core wire, but welding with the argon CO2 mix, it's just such a nice, to me, a cleaner weld. So, but I'm gonna call this good. I got to give him a call, tell him he's done, and uh, watch is dead. But yeah, he should be able to come pick this up later today and go get some yards mowed. So, hey, I do appreciate you watching. That appreciate everybody out there that has subscribed to my channel and are watching. And anybody else that's not a subscriber, feel free to join on in, because they'll tell them what else you're going to see on What's Broke Today. Thank you.